Hi everyone, Kim here for Treasure Lee Kit Club. What I've got for you is a layout today using our February scrapbook kit. Now this layout is going to be using just the items in our scrapbook kit. We're doing this just to show you how to use the kit, so you can use this video as a follow along to recreate this layout or just jumpstart your creativity. We're also using this month's mood board challenge as inspiration for this layout. So I'm going to go through everything that we've got out that we may or may not use in this layout. And if you have not seen our kit reveals, I will go ahead and link that video above. Also, if you are not subscribed to our channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and make sure you also hit the bell so that you're notified anytime that we upload videos. And don't forget to check out our website at www.treasureleekids.com. This is where you can subscribe to any of our kits or any combination of our kits. This is also where you can purchase the chipboard that you'll be seeing in this video and any of our future videos. We now do sell laser cut chipboard, and it's going to be prominent in all of our kits. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into this video. All right, first up, what we're going to be using. We've got the chipboard from the kit. So I've got both pieces of the heart doily. And like I said, these are for sale on our website. I've got a couple of the keys out. I'm not sure if we're going to use them yet, but I just want to have them out. I know for sure we're going to be using the flowers, so you want to have those out. We're going to use some of the ephemera from the ephemera stack, so you want to have that available. We're going to use the rub-ons, and we're going to need 3 sheets of paper. The first sheet is, we're going to take the cover from the collection set that you're going to be getting, because there is a bonus sheet on the back, and we're going to be using this as our base sheet, and that is Blush 12 by 12 collection. I've already cut the tabs off, but don't throw these away because we will be using them in this layout. So that's going to be our base. Our next sheet is going to be the Radiate sheet, and that's this bright pink kit, and you'll see that I've already done some cutting on it. We're not going to be using all of this, and I want to save this for another layout, so I've done a little bit of fussy cutting. I've cut out some of the flower on this end and the leaf on this end and the flower down here, and I'll show you what we're going to be doing with this. But this is the Radiate sheet. And then the last sheet that we're going to be using as far as paper goes is the Sage sheet, and this is the Papillon sheet. And like I said, do not throw your tabs away because we're going to be using them. And so here's that sheet. There's the front and there's the back. So we're going to be using that. And then we're also going to be using this die cut sheet that's got the flowers on it. So you want to get that out. So this is what we're going to be using, and we're going to start with our base sheet, which again is the collection cover, and it's this soft pink sheet. And I've got 3 photos that we're going to use on this. The main photo is a 3.5 by 5 photo. And the other ones are just 2 smaller photos. You really don't have to have the 2 smaller photos. I just want to use them, so you'll get a chance to see how we're going to use the smaller photos. But that's pretty much it. I've got some loose flamingo flowers. We had the flowers in a past kit, and I still had some loose ones. So I've got those out. And then I've got my adhesive. I've got some foam tape. You may want to grab a distressor. And that's everything that I have out to create this layout. And we're going to start, like I said, we've got the base sheet. We're going to take our sage green sheet, this Papillon sheet, and what we're going to do is, it's going to be a layer. And we're going to layer it on top of this pink sheet, but before we do, we want to do some tearing, and you want to tear it towards you so that you're going to have that white edge, and you're going to tear it on both sides. Sometimes I like to use a tearing ruler. So I'm going to get my tearing ruler out just because it gives me a nice little edge that I kind of like. So I'm going to go ahead and take that. Now there aren't going to be any measurements in this. No true measurements are going to be done. And that's the fun of this. We're just going to go ahead and just do it. If you want real measurements, I can try and do those for you. Looks like we're going to take off about maybe 3 inches off the top and maybe 3 inches off the bottom. And once you tear this, don't throw this sheet away because we're still going to use it. So I'm just going to go ahead and just give that a nice little tear. And this is some really nice thick paper. It holds your mediums well. So the top, and then actually the bottom, maybe just take 2.5 inches off, 2.5 inches. And again, you're going to pull that towards you so that you have that nice white edge. There you go. Just like that. You see we've got that nice white edge. And then what you want to do is you just want to work on your placement. It's just going to go right across the middle here. And I'm going to do some distressing. You can either use your distress tool. Here's mine. You can use your scissors, or you can just go ahead and use your fingers. Now if you find you're not getting the distress you want because this paper is pretty thick, you can go ahead and give it a little spritz with water, and that'll loosen it up a little bit for you to get a little bit of a distressed edge. I'm just using my fingers here to do it. I want to tear that little edge off there. And I'm doing the same thing with the bottom. I just want to curl it up a little bit, give it a little bit more of a distressed edge. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some adhesive. I'm going to take it down the side. And I'm just going to take a strip down the middle. I'm not going to do the edges because we're going to be layering stuff up under it, and so I don't want my edges down, but I don't want these edges down, but I do want the side edges down. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to place that. Again, I'm not measuring anything, I'm just placing it down. I'm careful on the sides because I don't want anything overlapping. So now that I've got that placed down, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take strips and I'm going to start to layer up under here, but I'm going to go to that pink sheet that we had. And now what I'm going to do is, remember I said I started fussy cutting. What I'm going to do now is where I stopped, I'm going to rip that off. The reason I did this is because I have a layout in mind with this paper, with this flower. So I wanted to go ahead and just start to rip this off here. And the same thing down here. I'm going to start to rip. And once I've got this all ripped, I'm going to set this sheet of paper aside. I'm no longer going to need it. At least not for this layout. But it will be used again on another layout. However, I've got these extra sheets of paper now. So what am I going to do with these? I'm going to use these on this layout. So we've got these 4 sheets of paper here. And what we're going to do is we're going to start to layer these. Now I'm going to take this little edge off. I don't need it. I'm going to take that whole edge off, and then I'm going to go around this edge and I'm going to rip it some so that I have that white edge again. Because I didn't have a white edge because I left the white edge on the other side. But I do want a white edge on this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start ripping towards me. And I'm trying to stay a little close to the edge. Green. My desk is getting a little crowded. I'm one of those people that just scraps all over the place. And I'm going to take maybe, oh, I want this piece. It's got a little bit of a darker green. And I'm going to rip that in half. And then I'm going to rip that edge again, because I want all the white. And I'm going to take that edge down some so it's not such much of a harsh edge, because it's going to be rounded. And actually, I'm going to take some of the back part of that off. Now you see it's all starting to take shape with the layers. And I want to go in with you just move stuff around until you're happy with the way things look. I really want to get this stitching in. I'm going to go back and find me another piece of this bright pink. And the other side's a little more muted. And I like that. And I like this little butterfly. I just don't know where I want to see where we can get him in here at. So oh, I don't think we're going to be able to get that little butterfly. We're going to start adding in some of the ephemera here and there. Now you've got this whole package of ephemera, and there are tons of good stuff in here. Alright, those little pieces are from this little viewfinder piece. So we've got some doilies, and we've got some little tags and tickets. I'm going to set that aside. And we've got some bigger pieces that we can use to build the background for our picture. So right now we're going to start building the background. We're going to add some more ephemera. And we've also got some that we can take from here as well. If you like, you've got a couple of tags that you can use. And maybe we'll end up using some of those tags. So for right now, let's add a little bit more with some of the ephemera. And right here, I think right here may be a good spot for a little piece. Actually, I think what we're going to do is we're going to take this doily and we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut this in half, and we're going to use this, the top and the bottom. How about we do that? We're just going to take this. This pack is so full of stuff, it's just so hard to choose as to what you want to use. Now, we've also got our rub-ons to use. So we're going to be adding some of our rub-ons too. We're going to go ahead and open these up, and if you've never used rub-ons before, where have you been? We're going to take some of our rub-ons, and we're going to take the bubbles, which are these right here. They've got some words in them, and I absolutely love them. And we're going to open these up once I figure out how. Alright, there's no little thing. You just got to go ahead and cut it. And if you've never used rub-ons before, they come on a back sheet, and it's best to cut the rub-ons out with the back sheet. Okay, so this is the backing, and if you're going to use them, it's best that you figure out which ones you want to use. And I think I want to use this big one right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and trim around the entire thing as best I possibly figure out where you want to place it. And I think I want to place it like right about here. And then there's a little stick that's in this package, but I've actually got a rub-on tool. I'm going to go ahead and do. Now what you do is you take off the little backing, and be careful because these rub-ons are going to appear to be a little sticky. And I'm going to go ahead and add that right about here, and it's going to stick down, and then you take your little tool and you just rub it on, and what you're doing is you're transferring it from one sheet to the next by giving a firm pressure. Doesn't have to be too hard, but just a nice firm pressure, and you're going over the whole image because you want to transfer the whole image over. And there you have it. Rub-on is down. Whoops, keep forgetting that's not adhered yet. Alrighty. I'm going to add another one on this side. I'm going to actually take this fine with just a little extra pressure. Alright, now it's time to go back to working on our layers for our photo. So this is going to be my base layer, and like I said, I'm going to add some foam dots to it because we're going to pop this up because we want to give it some dimension. Our distressed edges is going to give it some dimension, but I kind of want it to stand up off the page as well. So I'm going to go ahead with the foam dots. I use lots of foam dots. My husband buys these for me at the dollar store, so I don't worry about using a whole lot. They work really fine. I just want to make sure that I always get the edges in the center at least, and then leave some space in case you want to tuck some things under, because we've still got a lot of stuff left here that we can go ahead and layer. And so now I'm going to go in with, I'm not going to adhere that yet. I'm still putting down my layers, getting them the way that I really want them. And so basically this lesson and mussin and all that other stuff. Alright, that's just one layout, one flower. So we'll add another flower there. And we're going to grab some items from, we're going to grab some flowers from our pre-cut flowers here. And we're just going to pop those out. Piece here that I think is so adorable. I just popped this out of our die cut piece, and I think that's super cute. And I know we've got doilies here, and I really want to use it. So I think I might just toss it right here on top of I'll slide that down a little bit. We got a lot going on right there, but I think I really want to use. Okay, so I'm back with a much cleaner desk, and we're almost done with this layout. Let me give you a close-up and tell you about some of the things that I did. Remember, we talked about adding the punch-out flowers, and all I did was adhere those with some pop dots so you can see the dimension there. I went on ahead and laid my photo down, and on the little tab, I just took a little black pen, fine tip pen, and wrote in the date. I put these flowers on pop dots and actually put this title on a pop dot as well, and these photos are on pop dots as well. So that's done. I moved this layer around a little bit. I had it down further before. I moved it up some. I added part of a tag here. Actually, this was one tag. I cut it in half. I put the bottom part down here, put the top part up here. And then this piece that I had here, I moved that a little further back behind the stitching. And then I went on ahead and adhered the doily piece. So we've got that done. And now we're going to go ahead and finish off the layout. We're going to go back to our rub-ons, and the sheet with the names on it, it's got all these little sequin rub-ons. So we're going to add some of the green sequins just to give it a little more green to the layout because we've got a lot of pink going on. So I'm going to go ahead and take those out, and I'm going to go ahead and cut the section with the green. And I'm going to put some over top here. There it is. Here is our follow along with me layout made with just the items from the scrapbook kit. Oops. Now, this kit can be found on our website at www.treasurelykids.com. We try and do this every month so you can at least see one layout made with just the items from the kit, but it's also good when you can supplement items from your stash. But we understand a lot of people don't have a big stash, and so they get our kits and they like to see what they can do with just the kits. So this is one example. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for following along with me. This has been Kim for Treasurely Kids. Again, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and the little bell so that you're notified every time we upload a video. Our design team will have videos with our mixed media kit and our card kit as well. So you don't want to miss out on those. And again, check us out at the website at www.treasurelykids.com. Bye.